All right, we are back after Summer League. I'm back from Vegas. We're ready to talk about Summer League, put a bow on it, and we have a tier list to do today. Except it's not a normal tier list. So rather than ranking all of the Summer League guys, because while some players we expected to play well maybe didn't play as well, and some guys who we didn't expect to play well played better, we're gonna do a different style of tier list. So I'll put it on the screen here. It looks like this. Based on how well we thought they would perform, we are going to rank their performance. So neutral means they did about as good as we expected them to. One up arrow is obviously a little bit better. Two up arrows is obviously a lot better than we thought they would do. And we have all 15 Celtics Summer League players. What's up, Sam? Ready to rock?
Ready to rock. We're going to the summer league stock market today.
Indeed.
Seeing
With a nice
how
ad from Hellman's Kitchen at the top, which
we
is pretty.
had Donkey Kong Bonanza first.
They swapped it out for mayonnaise. So sorry.
They knew their
Do you want to
audience,
start?
clearly?
Do you want to start with the better guys, the less known guys? Like, what point do you want to start with here?
Let's do the lesser guys because I have a feeling a lot of it will be mostly neutral because there weren't much
Mm-hmm.
of an expectation going into summer league. And if
Okay.
we do all the big names first, we're just gonna get to the end and be like, yeah, I guess they're all neutral.
Okay. In that case, Aaron Scott, thoughts? Should we start with the neutral category because he was pretty neutral? I like the offensive rebounding in the last game against the Hawks, but
Didn't
he
get
was
much run.
pretty, yeah, just pretty whatever in my opinion.
Now you did it.
Based on
You
how
did a
tough.
story on him, correct?
I did. The hustle he played with, playing under Rick Pitino, just a general thing. We talked to him in a scrub, so I wrote it up quickly. He's a nice guy. It's just he didn't get the chance to play much, and so I don't think he should be up or down based on that performance.
Yep, I think that makes sense. I agree.
Um, Along those lines, Zach Hicks. I like the 3-point shot I saw, but I don't think it was enough to warrant super increased stock or decreased stock, in my opinion.
I almost think it might be a decreased stock only because I had somewhat of expectations for him going into summer league just because I thought he had the skill set to be a potential role player in the NBA, and I was like, maybe like they're legitimately interested in him and they're going to give him a real run in the summer league, and it just didn't happen. I
But
don't
when
know
he
if that's
played, he
his
was
fault.
fine. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, like
say,
he played fine, shot 50% from three in the one appearance he had. Or did he play twice or only once? I
he
think it
only
was
played
only once.
once,
Yeah.
only real
So
minutes once. Yeah.
he was fine in the game he played and he probably exceeded expectations, but I almost wonder if like his lack of playing time is a telltale sign from the coaching
Well,
staff that maybe there's not as much there.
the issue is who was he going to play over? Like, you had guys who played in the G League all last season in Kendall Brown and Jalen Bridges, who probably were promised actual run, and then you have Ugo Gonzalez, Amari Williams, Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shyman, all of whom play similar positions, and Miles Norris. So it's just I feel like there just wasn't much of an opportunity for him to run with this team. But I mean,
It's
we can
true.
do an arrow down if you'd rather. I thought he was okay in his one run, and he didn't really
I
get the
think
chance.
neutral's fair because I
Okay.
think the performance should offset maybe my personal disappointment that we didn't get to see more of him.
Fair. Um, Jalen Bridges, thoughts?
He's he's maybe arrow down for me too for that same
Down.
reason. Where
I
I
was the
just
opposite.
I didn't really think we got
Interesting.
to see enough of him for like the buzz surrounding him coming into this.
I was going to say arrow up. I liked what I saw from Jalen Bridges. He
Say
didn't play a
more.
ton. Well, he didn't play a ton, but when he got in the game, he looked all right. He took 10 threes against the Hawks, and he made 4 of them. He had two 16-point games in Summer League. And he just didn't earn, he didn't get a lot of shots in the other ones. Like, he appeared in 4 Summer League games for the Celtics, shot 0 of 3 and 0 of 1 in 2 of those games. And then the other two shot 2 of 6 and 4 of 10. So he got up his threes in the games he did get real minutes. And the games he got 12 minutes or less, he just didn't get a ton of shots up. But he had 16 points, and 5 rebounds in one game, and 16 points and 3 rebounds in the other game. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks against the Knicks. Like, when we got in when Jordan Walsh got ejected. Or no, that was the Heat game. Excuse me. He just played alongside Jordan Walsh. I don't know. I didn't hate what I saw. Obviously, the 3-point shot wasn't incredible, but I thought he showed confidence in shooting it. I thought he moved okay off the ball. I thought the defense was decent. I don't know. We can come into an agreement at neutral. If you thought one down, I thought one up, and we can put him in the middle.
Neutral it is.
I
We should
promise
do
this will
this
get
whole
interesting.
episode and everybody is just neutral.
I don't think we'll have any more neutral for what it's worth.
Okay, good.
Isaiah Wong.
Isaiah Wong, I kind of liked when
I
he
agree.
got real time. Actually,
I don't hate one arrow up for Isaiah Wong.
He played well in the final game. I thought when he got the spot minutes in the lower rotation roles in the early games, he was not a negative. Like, he went in there and held down the fort as he was supposed to do. Looked pretty comfortable putting the ball on the floor. He was a pesky defender. Like, I think he did a good job, and he should have been one of the better guys on this team. He actually played some NBA minutes last year, even though he played a lot of time overseas. Like, he's been on rosters. Yeah, I thought he was an up arrow. I was relatively impressed for what I had going in.
I agree. I worry about his fit in the NBA. Like, he kind of feels like this super streaky, high scoring guard. But hell, it worked in that last game. The streak was on the right side of the coin. So credit to him. He looked comfortable with the ball in his hands. I thought he was an okay enough defender. So I was impressed. Speaking of Isaiah Wong, his former Pacers teammate Kendall Brown, I kind of think the same tier. I think one arrow up. I was fine with Kendall Brown. I thought he looked all right.
I might even go two up. I liked him. I'm probably higher on Kendall Brown than most, but every time he was in the game, he was just kind of ready for whatever they needed him to do. Offensively, he did a good job of showing that he can be a low usage option, made good cuts, finished around the rim. Like, his finishes looked like they were way easier than they actually were. He, like, floats in the air and easily just lays it up off the backboard. Really liked it. Seemed calm at all times. Made a couple threes. I think one is fair, but personally, I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Also, the headband and the high socks look sick.
I don't mind Kendall Brown. I don't know. I just don't know if he did quite enough to get to the two arrows up. Like, he was good, but I don't think he was like world breaking. And I don't know if anybody on the Celtics Summer League team was, honestly. But Hayden Gray got in mostly in that last little game, but when he was on the floor, I thought he was pretty good. I'm fine with an arrow hop for Hayden Gray. I don't know how much of that last game you caught, but he looked comfortable with the ball in his hands. He was moving off the ball really well in terms of like cutting from the corner or kicking. He had one play where he drove to the paint, kicked to Isaiah Wong, relocated to the corner, and got himself a three. His defense was there. He had 2 steals. He had one in the first like 30 seconds on the court. That's just what he does. I was impressed. He already signed with Maine. Noah reported that, and so I'm excited to see him, man. I think he impressed me in that one little stint he got.
I didn't get to watch the finale, but you mentioned it. Like, he's already earned a spot up in Maine, so the team likes what they've seen with him. Going into Summer League, we thought it was just incredible that he had averaged as many steals as he had in college. Meanwhile, like, playing on a team that made a tournament, like, they did a good job. He helped them achieve probably more than they expected to achieve too. I think one arrow is pretty fair for him, especially like he'll be around the team. You'll get to see more of him up in the main next year. Definitely somebody to watch.
Agree. Charles Bassey. See 2 arrows up? Or low key, you know what we need to do for Charles Bassey? We need to create ad row below and call it the DNF. He did not finish.
Did not finish slash was punching down.
Yeah. Let's create the DNF category. He did not finish. But he played well when he was there. So credit to Charles Bassey. But he in fact did not finish Summer League, unfortunately. Okay. Do we put Kenny Lofton in the didn't, or did he, since he played all of the regular season games, does he deserve to be on the chart? I think he deserves to be on the chart for finishing at least the regular season.
I think Kenny Lofton also needs his own category where it's just you can make it coin flip.
I think he deserves arrow up. He was awful in those first 2 games, but once he like got the memo of let's not do that, he looked like he could genuinely be an impactful NBA player. I ended Summer League on an upward trajectory with Kenny Lofton, at least my opinion.
Yeah, I just thought like it was so funny that you saw 2 completely different players. You had one Kenny Lofton who was watched this every single time. Then you had willing to pass, had like given respect to his teammates all of a sudden, had a talking to Kenny Lofton, who was a great connector, used all of the gravity that he was generating in the first couple appearances for good instead of evil. I think one is fair. I do. Do you know if he was like asked not to come back? I know you mentioned like prior commitment for the Hawks game, but like, do you
No,
know
I
what
think
that means?
I think it was truly just a prior commitment. Like he just had
Okay.
something else that he had planned.
Wedding?
Um, but Ben Gregg, thoughts? I know you didn't get to watch the last game, so maybe you don't know as much.
I do not have.
Honestly, Ben Gregg looked good. That Hawks game, I came in assuming like, okay, this guy's just kind of here. He's not going to be anything. And to be perfectly clear, he is not going to play in Boston next year. He has a 0.0000001% chance of playing in Boston next year. However, for the main Celtics who lost James Banks, who lost Hassan Ward, who lost Anton Watson because they waived him last year, like they don't have a center room right now outside of Amari Williams. Ben Gregg came in, hit half of his threes. I think he was 2 of 4 from 3. It was 5 of 8 from the field, or maybe he was 3 of 5 from 3. Like he made a few threes in that last game. His form's wonky, but they go in. He was fighting like hell for rebounds, which I thought was impressive. I don't think he's going to be an NBA player, but for a guy who I came in thought was just like the fun end of the bench guy, he looked all right. I was like, okay, this guy can hoop a little bit. So I was okay with Ben Gregg.
Shout out to Michael Hilly, who sent Ben Gregg's tweet to the First the Floor Discord yesterday. The NBA tweeted out like the final stat lines for Boston's last summer league game, and they listed him as Benjamin Gregg, and he was like, "Oh, we're using government names." So sense of humor gets him one arrow up. I would
Also,
like to see him stick around.
remember when Peyton Pritchard scored 92 in a pro game, and one of his
Yes,
teammates tweeted, "We combined for 100," and it was him having 92 and
it was
someone else
Ben
having
Gregg.
8. Ben Gregg had 8.
Okay, Ben Gregg, welcome to the team.
Shout out Ben Gregg. Noah did a story
Neemias
on
Queta,
that
goodbye.
this
Ben
week.
Gregg, hello.
Go read Noah's story on
Two
that.
first names is
Okay,
also funny.
we have all of the two ways and regular roster player. What order do you want to go with? Who do you want to go first?
Let's do Miles Norris.
Miles Norris. I'm torn because I think there were spurts where he looked good, but that last game was really rough. Like I said this to you, I said this to like people I'm talking with. He looked like he walked onto the court thinking, okay, this is the Miles Norris show, and then it just like it was not the Miles Norris show. I think I think I might have lied when I said neutral because I think a part of the start was like, oh, he's up here, and then I thought it was like, oh, he's down here. Maybe we throw him in the middle, but I'll hear you out too if you'd like to pitch your case because I'm pretty torn.
I think it was mostly good. Like, I think
Okay.
even in the games where he didn't have a great shooting day, he did a lot of other things right. Like, competed on defense, was a pain in the ass for other teams. And, I thought he made some good shots too. Like, he always looks comfortable shooting the ball and plays with good confidence. I felt better about Miles Norris after Summer League than I did going into it. I didn't really know what to think about it.
Okay.
I think that there's definitely weight to the game that was the last game. I think what we learned is maybe he shouldn't be asked to do too many things. But if
Okay.
he's able to stick in a role, maybe he could have a future.
I can get on board with that. Let's move Kendall Brown to 2 up and then put Miles Norris so it's not too crowded because I do think Kendall Brown deserves to be that based on past expectations. So I'm okay with that. Who next? You want to do a rookie? You want to go Shyman or Walsh? Who should we rank next?
Let's do the returning guys, and we'll hit the rookies.
Okay. Jordan Walsh.
2
Well,
up.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Yep.
Jordan Walsh was good. He was really good. Obviously, he had that ejection, but he was playing within himself. The shot looked confident. I was very impressed with Jordan Walsh in Summer League.
Yeah. Jordan Walsh thought he was dead. Not dead. He's the meme of the guy getting the chest compressions, and then he bounces up and they all start dancing. Like that's Jordan Walsh in Summer League. Just maybe the best guy in Summer League consistently.
Yeah.
Made a lot of threes, looked comfortable shooting the three. Like all of the work we saw him doing pre-game with the development team seemed like it paid off. Looked ready for the moment, wasn't trying to do too much. Like last year's summer league and this year's summer league are night and day. Where last year thought he was dead, like thought that was the death of Jordan Walsh, where we were kind of hyped to see him. Showed up, looked flustered, looked like he was being asked to do too much this year. I mean, granted, he's a third-year summer league player, so I think those guys should do well. But he just kind of punched above what I expected for him and played both sides of the ball, showed some fieriness, getting thrown out of the game, which was maybe the dumbest thing. Almost like enough to get him down to the one arrow, because it was like you were the best guy on the floor and you got them to bait you into getting ejected.
I like the intensity though. Like I would rather a player do that than just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather see emotion than see like the other worse emotion. I don't know. I don't hate a player getting fired up every once in a while is the point. Baylor Shyman. Listen, I think Baylor Shyman actually played really well at Summer League outside of the one thing that everyone wanted to see. And so I don't think we can put him in neutral. I think he has to be the one arrow down just because he literally could not hit a shot. But I am also not even a little bit concerned about Baylor Shyman after Summer League. Like I thought it was good to see him be a playmaker. I thought it was good to see him hustling on defense. Even though he did get blown by a little bit. Like I thought his ability to get those poke from behind steals was a good thing. I thought his rebounding was great. I thought him as like a ball creator was good. The shots just didn't fall, and it was to the point where you can't really excuse it putting him in neutral or higher.
Yeah, the shot making was tough. Like he took some good shots and they just wouldn't go in. I was impressed with the creation at times, like doing some of the early playbacks with Jake. Jake was like, "Whoa, what is he doing?" And like he was going into the lane and doing that thing where he just tries to stop and take the floater. And he created the shot. Like he was getting open looks in there. He just didn't have the touch to finish him. Kind of liked what we saw in the creativity area from Baylor, which is, I think, a good thing for him going forward. I don't know how much opportunity he's going to have off the bench to be a ball handler, but if they ask him to do that in the NBA, it seems like he'd be ready for that. It was tough to see the shots miss. And to think to think about like how he's going to get in the rotation, it's going to have to be shooting. That's the answer.
I disagree. Almost like don't get me wrong, he has to make his shots if he wants to stay on the floor in the NBA. He has to make shots. But I think I said this in like the first or second summer league game. You lost Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, Kristaps Porzingis for next season. That means Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White are going to be the primary creators. You are going to need secondary creators. Baylor Shyman is going to have the ball in his hands. Like there are literally not enough players on this team comfortable having the ball in their hands. You have like. If you really think about it, from last year's team, you have 3 guys who you are okay with setting up the offense. That's not enough. You need more than that at times. And so I think Shyman actually probably will have a lot more on-ball creation moments, at least than he did last year, and maybe a lot more than people expect. So from that perspective, I thought he played pretty well in Summer League, but just the shots, they have to go in.
I think that's a good point about next year. Like, without Tatum, there are more opportunities to do that. And there was a report like in March, like the first rumblings we heard about them. Oh, maybe the team's not going to look the same next year, regardless of what happens. Shyman was one of the guys that they felt good about replacing Holiday down the line. So that's something to watch too. But if he's going to play significant minutes, he has to be able to make shots.
For sure. And I don't think a 5-game stretch is enough to deter you from thinking he can do it. Like I still think he can do it.
That is very fair. Very very accurate. We'll talk about that a little later, I'm sure, with another individual on the board.
Let's do Max Shulga first, then we'll get into the
we're gonna talk about it right now.
We'll do backwards order for the rookies.
Okay.
I'm still a big Max Shulga fan. I thought he did a great job handling the ball in Vegas. He had a great assist to turnover ratio. I thought his comfortability drawing to and kicking out was good, but the shots do have to go in. I don't know where that makes me want to put him relative to expectations. I think it's either neutral or runner or down. So I'm happy to do whichever you think. But I came out of Summer League. I'm a Max Shulga fan, but he didn't shoot the ball very well, obviously.
Yeah, going in, I was kind of excited for him because the billing on him was 3-and-D, both elite. And we saw that. Like, defense, elite. He did things that I had really never seen before, actually, on defense. Like, the biggest memory that I will take away from this Summer League from Max Shulga, besides the missed shots, is there was a fast break where he like faked that he was going to take a charge and then just instead decided to strip the ball handler as they drove to the basket. Was really well done, was impressed with it. His playmaking was great. He didn't turn the ball over hardly ever. He averaged almost 4 assists a game, just about a half turnover per game. So the ratio, very, very
Really
good on that. He had the 8 assist game against Miami where he was doing a little bit of everything, like really comfortable.
No
handling the
turnovers in
ball
that game,
in
I think,
pick and
if
roll.
I remember correctly.
Yep, eight assists, 0 turnovers. Was doing everything, pick and roll. He was patient on drives. He was finding the guys that were open in the corners. The defense helped, throwing alley-oops to Bassie. He did a really good job. The shots. That was the other part of what we heard about him. Coming out of college, Shulga's supposed to be an elite 3-and-D guy. We saw the defense.
I don't think elite. I don't think that's a fair word. He was a 56th overall pick. If he was an elite 3-and-D guy, he would have been like a first-round guy.
The 2 skills were his top skills. I should say.
Yes,
those are the things
he was supposed to be a
at.
pretty good shooter, pretty good defender.
Yes.
Saying elite is, I feel like, a bit of a stretch for the.
Maybe that's a little unfair, but he was consistently a good 3-point shooter in college. He shot 38% last year for VCU on 5 almost 6 attempts a game. Like he was not a low volume merchant. He was firing it up.
Yes,
he looked confident taking threes in summer league. He had some of the worst misses I've ever seen. Like consistently missing the rim, just slamming off the backboard, air balls. I wrote about it for Hardwood Houdini, which Jack will have to look at and edit eventually. And I was like, was he just nervous? Like he had to be somewhat nervous.
I mean,
but
for sure.
The whole billing on him is he like one of his nicknames is like even-minded or cool-headed, whatever they called him at VCU. Like he was supposed to be somebody who doesn't really lose his cool, stays in control.
I'm happy with putting him in the same thing as Shyman. Like, I mean, everybody has those 5-game stretches, right? Like, it's just unfortunate when that is literally the only tape you have of a guy in a Celtics uniform. Like, right, like Jaylen Brown shoots 0 of 20 from 3 over a 5-game stretch. People are like, oh no, but they don't freak out because it's Jaylen Brown. They know they'll snap out of it. Max Shulga does it. And I mean, obviously that's the only chance Celtics fans have seen him play. And so it's going to leave a lasting impression. But I think like Shyman, I'm not going to base his entire 3-point shooting ability off of a 5-game stretch. And I was very happy with what he did everywhere else on the court. Amari Williams. Bad. I don't think he was very good. The passing, so fun to watch. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was really rough.
He's got work to do.
A lot of work to do.
I thought that he, like, I still, like, really like his skill set, but it's very clear that he's raw and he's going to need time to develop because.
And for
we talked
a
about
24-year-old, less than ideal.
We talked about it at the draft. He doesn't make shots, and what he does is shoot shots near the rim, and that's it. So if those shots aren't going in for a 7-foot guy, something's wrong. His game against the Lakers, I didn't get to watch in full because I had moved that day, but I went back and watched everything he did in that game because that was the highest usage game he had. He missed some like good looks, even on like catch and finish opportunities, which was like, oh, well, if he gets in the league and he's just asked to catch and finish, it should go well for him. It didn't go well. He got his offensive rebounds, like credit to him, I guess. He has to become a better finisher at the rim. Like he's maybe smarter Nemi at this point, or maybe like better vision Nemi.
He's a better passer, Nemi, but Nemi's a better rebounder. Nemi's a better awareness guy. Like Amari Williams just looked lost. Like it looked like he was a step slow on everything. Like he was behind the play on defense. He was not ready to jump to contest shots. He was struggling to get rebounds. He would box out but forget to jump, or jump and then not box out the guy. Like he just looked like a guy who is an 18-year-old rookie, but he's almost 24. He'll have plenty of time in Maine on a 2-way contract. I still really love the passing. Don't get me wrong. Like I do think there's an interesting skill set player in there, but he's got a lot of work to do. Last guy, Ugo Gonzalez. I maybe one arrow down, but Ugo's rough, man. Like Amari Williams, like relative to expectations, he looked like he was moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour at all times, and not in the way that we were hoping would be a positive.
Yeah. What we heard about Ugo coming out of the draft was hey, this guy plays really hard. And he did. Probably too hard. He would overcommit on passes that he had no chance of stealing and leave the rest of the team playing 5-on-4. He would have fouled out of the second game or whichever. He had 7 fouls in one game, which you can't do in the NBA. In summer league, it's different. You can have 10 fouls. That doesn't happen. He would go on drives without a plan and turn the ball over, which, like, I don't think it's great. But it's like not my least favorite kind of turnover, if that makes sense. Like I think I would be like more perturbed if it was like they were just pressuring him every time he had the ball and he didn't know what to do. That's one thing I felt like was a positive. When defenses tried to pressure him, he didn't fold. Like he did a good job of protecting it, didn't turn the ball over at half court, and he was willing to attack off the dribble. It's just once he hit the paint, he would do the same Euro step every time. And
if the Euro or the spin move didn't work, Hugo Gonzalez was turning the ball over.
Yes.
That was how it happened.
And then he shot all the threes, and he didn't make very many. He had the good start in the first game with the threes, but then it got worse. And I think the confidence is a good thing, ultimately. Like, he didn't ever get scared to shoot the ball. The game against Miami was the most glaring moment for me where he is awful all day, and the game's close. And no, seriously, like this is a good thing. He's been horrible the whole afternoon. Game's close. And then he scores 5 straight points, makes a big 3 after being ice cold from 3, crashes the offensive glass on the next possession and gets a putback. And it's 5 straight for Ugo in a game that was close. Like, as much as it didn't matter because they lost the game, he did a good job of stepping up in a moment where the team needed him, even though it was not his day. And I think that says a lot about his character. Doesn't erase everything else that we saw. I think the downgrade is very fair, but I think we should talk about like the good things. And like I thought his defensive intensity was impressive. Like he was, as advertised, he was going to pick the guy up at half court or full court and be a pain in the ass the whole time. And he did that. But he did that. Like the others, is going to need time.
The problem was when he did that, half the time it worked, half the time he got blown by. Like it was just all the little things. Like he got run through by Bronny James and crossed up by Bronny James, and then ran by Heat ball handlers and everything. Like it was. Don't get me wrong. Like this tier list is not Ben Gregg is better than Hugo Gonzalez and Amari Williams. Obviously not. This is based on what we thought from them coming in, how they performed. And the Celtics rookies just didn't really perform that well. And they've got plenty of time. There's obviously a reason that the Celtics drafted all of them. I'm very intrigued in all of their skill sets. Ugo's defense, cutting everything off the ball, and just raw overall potential. Amari Williams passing and his abilities as a screener and a big body. Max Shulga's ability to run an offense. And that 3-point shot was real in college. So if it comes around in Maine, like it could be something real. They got to show it. So let us know what you guys think of the tier list, or I guess not even a tier list, just the stock market. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling after Summer League. And we're here every day, so subscribe, hit the bell. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game, which are done for now because Summer League is over. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want those followed, they'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. This is your time. We got nothing going on for 2 months. Games, trivia, choose your own adventures. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll love you forever. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All the streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's One NBA. Mine's at Samuel France NBA. That's it for us.
Tic tac